Hold on, I'm just gonna pull up some Seattle stats from yesterday. But that was a tough one. That was pretty much a shootout up until the end. We obviously had some bad mistakes at bad key moments of the game. But we also had some good plays. And I don't know. Gino, he played great. And then he made some mistakes that, I mean, cost us the game. But at the end of the day, the offensive line, once again, getting their ass whooped. Just you can't win games that way. And I mean, I've been a pretty harsh critic on Gino all year. It's taken me a while to believe, but I don't know, man. I'm not gonna put too much of the blame on Gino on this one because he made some plays that kept us in the game. And yeah, what are your thoughts on the loss against the Rams?
I feel like this game was a microcosm of how this whole season has been, except for the fact that I thought the defense overall played pretty well yesterday. But yeah, in a word, it's maddening. This team is maddening to watch because, you look at the box score, Gino had pretty close to 400 yards of passing and at least like 50 to 60 yards to JSN in particular taken off the board via penalties from the offensive line. JSN has almost 200 yards receiving. Kenneth Walker, didn't get a lot going on the ground, but is really emerging as a complete back in the receiving game. So it's like the offense moves the ball up and down the field. We get over 400 yards of total offense, hold the Rams to less than 400 total yards. It's an all right performance on paper, but you throw 3 interceptions, you get sacked 7 times. You have, I think, 12 penalties for almost 100 yards of offense, some of which were legitimate penalties that were, just bad execution. Some of it also just,
Sorry.
I'll be honest, I'm not going to blame the refs for this game, but they were terrible for both teams in this game.
Yeah, they were
There was
horrible.
like the on the second Gino interception, for example, AJ Barner is getting held blatantly by Brandon Fisk on the Rams, so he can't get to the ball. It's a timing screenplay, and then the Rams Cameron Kitchen guy just dives and gets the interception. But the only reason why he was able to do that is because our guy's getting held right in front of a ref. And
That
then
that
even
is
the
true.
Rams,
That
well, I was
I
gonna
agree with you,
say,
Ryan.
was
But
1 second. The Rams got a pass interference call against them in our favor. That was also just trash. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about. Cody White, I believe, fell down, and so we got a PI flag. They were just terrible against both teams. But
yeah.
what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say that play where Gino threw the interception. I mean, even if he was being held, like, why is Gino throwing that ball when, like, you can see in the replay, Barner's back is facing Gino? Why is he throwing that? Why is he making that throw? That's way too risky. Like,
So
I get the hold, but that has nothing to do with his decision to make that throw.
I don't think it was a decision at all. I mean, the decision was actually letting go of the ball, but that's a design screen with one read on it. And our line is so fucking bad that that's what happened. And that's twice in 2 weeks now that we've had a screen pass turn into an interception because of our offensive line. And, I don't even really want to talk about, like, yeah, Gino made 2, if counting that, horrible, horrible, horrible decisions in the red zone that absolutely cost us this game. We get even one field goal on those 2 drives, and his touchdown to JSN at the end of the fourth quarter is the game winner. And we're not even having this conversation right now. But this offensive line, man, it's not without exaggeration. I've kind of thought this since the Broncos game. This is the worst offensive line I've ever seen the Seahawks field. It's that bad. It is so abysmal that a front that is not even good at stopping the run, like the Rams. I mean, yeah, we ran for 100 yards, but that was with like over 30 carries. That's not a good running game. That's not a respectable, that's not a running game that you have to worry about. We just kept trying basically, but it wasn't good. So yeah, it's like, there was, as for as much good as we displayed out there, the snaps over Gino's head that are, just comically bad,
Yeah.
the penalties that kill awesome plays by our offense, the sacks, the pressure, the complete inability to get a yard in
That's
overtime
that's why
twice.
I didn't understand that going forward on fourth down, because clearly our offensive line was getting pushed back all day. Why don't and if we're gonna make that call, why don't we just do a quarterback sneak?
Anything other than, I mean, like, we tried to run basically up the gut like a dive play. First of all, on the third down, I was out of the shotgun. I hate that call. I hate running out of the shotgun in 1 yard or less kind of situations, because there's a big time delay to get the ball to the running back compared to going under center. I hate that in concept. So I mean, I don't hate the fact that we tried to go for it there, but I hate the play call, and I hate that you're basically trusting Laken Tomlinson and Charles Cross and Connor Williams to do what they haven't done all game, which is generate a push. Instead of, I know he's made some mistakes, but put the ball in Gino's hands on fourth down. Give him a shot, you know, especially since the Rams, they're loading the box on that play. Like, I feel like if we just had done a quick play action, a tight end would probably be wide open because they were selling out to stop the run. And who knows? Like, they could have scored on that play. So I think the fact that the Rams immediately went right down the field 90 yards and scored a touchdown kills any we should have taken the field goal conversation there, because this isn't 2007. Like, that wouldn't have won us the game.
Yeah,
So
I agree, but I mean, you at least you do at least put the pressure on the Rams because they're losing. If we don't get that fourth down play, I mean, there's no need for them to press, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So they can play, that's why you saw Matt Stafford taking shots and it connected and we lose. Like, I don't think he makes those kind of decisions if they're down by 3, but
well, it's hard to say. I don't hate the fact that we went for it. I hate the result, obviously. I think that this was not Ryan Grubb's best day at the office for sure, because I felt like situationally, like the first interception, for example, we were running the ball really well on that particular drive, and then we threw it for 3 plays in a row for no reason and drives over. Um, Biggest mistake of the game, obviously, that literally, if you just take out this play, when we're tied at 13, the pick six, I'm really confident we win this game. And I think with just a normal, clean performance, the Seahawks probably would have won by 3 scores in this game. They actually,
what
compared to our prediction, they played overall a lot better than I thought they were going to, as far as just like, moving the ball and stopping the Rams offense. But it just again, it's maddening, man. Like, I don't even know, like, should I be mad? Should I be frustrated? Like, it's
well,
just,
yeah, it's the miscues in the red zone that are killing us, because we were up 13-3 at one point and then it was
yeah.
20-13, like that.
Mm-hmm.
17 unanswered. When I forget the exact order in which things happened of the game, but like the Geno Smith pick six, that was what
It was
third
13
and
all.
third and goal at the
No, it was first and goal at the 5 when he did that.
yeah. So
So that was the worst play Geno's made as a Seahawk, going back to 2019 when we signed him to be the backup. Not that he
yeah.
made that many plays before Wilson got hurt initially, but that's
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say here is, in the last half decade, Geno hasn't done something that's stupid. And I think he was trying to throw the ball away and his arm got hit. But dude, you have to understand, and this is probably my biggest criticism of Geno, is when he does decide to hang on to the ball, he oftentimes just has way too much faith in the protection around him. Like, dude, you got to know you got 2.5 seconds, and then the ball's got to go out, or you got to try to run because
Hmm.
you don't have time in this line. He doesn't contrary to what people believe, he gets the ball out really fast. He's been getting the ball out fast this season in particular. But it's the times when he does hang on to it, you're just like watching one of our tackles or guard get smoked, and Gino can't see it, and you're like, here we go. And so yeah, like if it would be way better if we just got sacked 3 plays in a row and took a field goal there than what happened, because the Rams, they didn't have a ton of really long successful drives. There was the pick six, the overtime drive, half of which was 1 play basically. And then besides that, we're basically looking like at a 14-point day on defense.
Hmm.
So
I did like, however, I told you earlier when we were texting, but Gino did. I listened to his press conference after the game, and he totally owned that loss and put it on himself, which I didn't think, like, it wasn't all on him. Like, there were mistakes made, but there were also some plays that he made. So,
yeah,
but I did like seeing that, and that's what got me thinking of, God, if we just had a good offensive line, I almost think we'd be fine with Gino, even like with Super Bowl aspirations, because I mean, we talked about this before. There aren't a whole lot of quarterbacks in the league that can take over games. I think there's maybe four, I would say. And then the rest is like they're all kind of the same. I mean, Jared Goff's playing kind of out of his mind this year. Kind
but
of an outlier though, but
the Lions have a fantastic offensive line. They have maybe the best offensive line in the
right.
league. And look at what a guy like Goff, who, let's be real, we all thought was terrible for close to a decade.
Hmm.
Look how he's playing. And, look at Jalen Hurts once he gets his weapons back, like with AJ Brown and company. He's playing way better since he got those receivers back because their offensive line is so good in Philadelphia. It's up and down the list. So I said this to you earlier when we were texting, but I genuinely think it's like malpractice by John Schneider that he allowed our offensive line to be this collection of people on week one, when you could have re-signed Damian Lewis. You could have done anything else in free agency. The guy you do draft, again, someone I was excited about in Christian Haynes. He's a healthy scratch in week 9.
I know it's not good.
And it's not like Anthony Bradford is someone that you just can't afford to put on the bench. Like, dude, you have a golden opportunity to take hold of this starting job, and you can't even play well enough to suit up. So
God, that just is such a bummer because there was so much hype around him coming in. We
I
thought we like
know.
stole a like immediate NFL starter in the
Yeah.
draft.
And what's
And
horrible is the 49ers drafted this guy. His last name's like Pooney or something. Like 6 picks after us in round 3 or top of round 4 or whatever. And he's playing like fantastic for them. But I don't know. I mean, it's maybe your offensive line coach is not doing good. I don't know what the deal is, but just the bottom line is,
dude, it's got to be John Schneider because this has been a problem going all the way back to Tom Cable.
yeah, no, it has. I mean, the last time we had a good offensive line, Max Unger was our center. That was
Yeah.
a decade ago. So we're basically looking at a decade of average at best, and I mean at best, offensive line play. And I think since 2022, 2021, probably bottom 6 at best. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I mean, I remember this problem of our guards getting blown back into
Mm-hmm.
the backfield of run plays. It's been happening since 2022. That's when I first started noticing it. So yeah, and to fact, I think that the worst thing on this subject is that during the offseason, John Schneider said in an interview, it might have just been a press conference, but he said, in his opinion, interior offensive linemen get overdrafted and overpaid. Not my words, John Schneider's. Well, buddy, how's that working out for you? We're 4-5. We could easily be like 7-2 right now with just okay offensive line play. Like that's the difference. The fact that we even have any wins at all is because Gino is leading the league in passing yards. He's also leading the league in interceptions after this week. So that's what I mean. Like just this whole team, everything about it right now is maddening. It can't be explained. It's enigmatic in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason, like, as frustrated with this team as I am, and as much as I want to say, like, fuck it, let's think about 2025, we still just being real, we're still just one game behind the Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers. And we play all those teams within the next month here after a bye week. And we're getting Abraham Lucas back and DK Metcalf. So
Yeah,
if
is the Abraham Lucas thing a for sure he is going to play, or is that just he's coming off of IR?
he's off of IR, I believe, or at least he's in his practice window. So it's not for sure to answer your question, but it's looking likely, is what I'm hearing.
Well, because I'm kind of thinking big picture here. Do you really think we can beat a team like the or I mean, not the Rams, the Lions in the playoffs? Do you think we could beat the Niners finally with Geno? Like
Yeah, I do. I do with
you do?
better offensive line. With the current
Uh,
offensive line, no.
that's what I'm
But
saying. Is like right now, like I'm not saying punt on the season, but I'm just looking at the season realistically. I don't think we can go in as a road team and beat either of those teams. And I just think you in the draft, it has to be the focus has to be offensive line and linebackers. That's it.
well, absolutely. But I mean, like, we're at a point where we're right below 500. First of all, I don't believe in tanking just as a concept. And we got a rookie head coach that's not proven anything, a whole brand new coaching staff that's worried about their jobs. They're going to keep trying to win these games as hard as they can.
Yeah.
So we might as well just keep approaching this from our perspective as that's the reality because it just is what it is. Do I think it's going to ultimately be successful? No. I mean, we've been one of the worst teams in the league objectively the last month here,
Mm-hmm.
going 1-5 down the stretch. But I think we've shown that when things are actually clicking and we're not making, you know, preseason junior high level mistakes, the ceiling is pretty high on this team. It's just the floor is in the basement.
That that's my problem. I think with this team is like every week we look completely different from the previous week, and there's no consistency with this team. And so I'm like, it's almost worse than just being bad
I
because
know. I think it is
we get
worse.
hope, and then it comes crashing down like 6 days later, and it's just yeah, I don't know. My realism for this season is knocking on my door and it's barging its way in, I guess is how I'll put it.
Well, the good thing is we really don't have to wait that much longer to know because just looking ahead here, coming up on our bye week that I think is really needed after you've gone 1-4 in a 5-game stretch like this. You need to do some soul searching, reevaluate, refocus, and just figure out what the fuck is going on with this team. So I think it's a well-timed bye, get some guys healthy, and then you immediately play the 49ers coming out of it. And I'm gonna say this right now: if we lose that game, the season is over. But
I would
if
agree.
if you win that game and get to 5-5, you're in theory half a game at most out of the division lead at that point. That'll
Mm-hmm.
change the whole narrative and feeling about this team. And you can a win can make you forget a lot. So that's the like just ultimate homer optimistic take that I have left in me, really.
Mm-hmm.
We're not dead yet, but I do think, yeah, you lose the 49ers in 2 weeks. Let's start talking about the draft.
Which honestly, I didn't really mention any of the positives though about this game against the Rams. We both kind of thought we were going to get our ass beat, and
Yeah.
we
But we,
played. I mean, we were able to stop the run.
yeah,
Kyron Williams didn't run all over us like he thought he was going to. It actually kind of pissed me off because I'm going to lose my fantasy game because of it. But
I'm honestly mad I'm going to win my fantasy game. I want to just lose, but
yeah, you're going to have a better record than me.
and my team's awful. But and Dak just got hurt out a
Yeah, you're
month
gonna have to pick
probably.
up Cooper Rush.
Uh, we'll see. Uh but yeah, no, I mean like I think I picked us to lose 27-13 or something. And like with something as simple as everything's the same in this game except for Jason Myers' extra point doesn't get blocked. It would be a walk-off victory with that JSN
Mm-hmm.
touchdown. That's simple, you know? So and it's so frustrating because had we won and gone to 5-4, like it'd be kind of like what I was just saying about this 49ers game. We'd be going into our bye week with that momentum tied for the top of the division, feeling better about the direction going forward. But yeah, honestly though, like with all the mistakes they made, I was just the whole game I was like, we're not gonna win this game. But they kept pulling me back in. Like as soon as I was about to turn it off for good, I was like, oh shit, we're going to overtime now.
Yeah, funny thing about this team is I feel like I feel better coming off a loss than I do a win. Like, because I feel like we're going to be pissed off the next game and almost get to like a sense of desperation. Like, I almost feel better that we lost against the Rams and then I have to go into San Fran because it's kind of all or nothing with this game. Like, had we won that game, it would have been like, oh, we just beat the Rams. Now we're gonna play the Niners again, and we just want like it just seems like we can't get a streak going. Well, besides the 3-0 start to the season, but we didn't play anyone good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just yeah, this Niner game is going to be all or nothing for the season, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if nothing else, like the fact that we're going to be playing what's it's kind of like the playoffs start now for that old dumb saying, because really out of our next 4 games, 3 of them are division games. So really, it's like if you don't win all 3 of those, you probably kiss the division goodbye, just because our conference record is horrific. The only conference team I think we've beaten is the Falcons,
Uh-huh.
which I mean that's a good conference win to have, but the point remains like we're 1-4 in the NFC right now. It's really bad. So yeah, it's kind of like the playoffs start after the bye week for us. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of hype leading up to it. But I mean, if they come out and snap the ball over Gino's head, it's like, what was the point of this season? if I'm
That's
being
the
real with you.
first play of the game against the Niners.
The fact that that's happened like 3 times in the last 2 games at home is so fucking crazy. I don't think I saw that happen to a Seahawks team for like 10 years.
Yeah, does he have like a sprained finger? Why is this happening?
I don't know. I feel like there's no explanation that I will buy on it other than like Connor Williams is betting against the Seahawks. That's the only thing that makes sense here because dude, you've presumably been snapping a football for like 16 years. What the fuck are you doing? Sorry. This I think
No,
of
that's
of
it's
the of
fair.
everything that happened, that's what I'm actually still just like pissed off about.
Yeah. No, it's like not only can they not block, but now they can't snap the ball either.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, yeah,
Well,
I guess that's kind of all I had to say. It's weird like looking at it if we keep up this pace, like Gino might lead the league in passing yards with like over 5,000 yards, but only have 20 touchdowns and 20 picks if these trends continue, which is kind of just foul. Like it's just so weird. This team makes no sense, man.
I know. It's pretty terrible.
I guess one last thing on a positive, JSN had the best game of his career by far.
Yeah,
With
I was gonna say I didn't know that he was capable of taking a game over like that. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, he would have had like 230 yards receiving without penalties. He still
Hmm.
had almost 200 and 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I mean that was another frustrating thing about overtime too. I was like, every time we throw to him, it's working when we just decided to run the ball 3 plays in a row or 4 plays in a row. The fuck, bro?
Yeah, it's a mystery why they do the things they do sometimes. But should we do a pod this week? Even though there's a bye week, or what do you think?
That's a good point. I suppose we could. We could just do our rankings. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you next time, huh?
Yep. Catch you on the next one.